Candidates for governor and, other big offices often play this silly game where they deny or dance around the fact that they're running until the moment that they choose to announce that they're running. Secretary of State Griswold did that this week. And then there's this Jena For Governor website. That raises some campaign finance questions. Here's politics guy Marshall Zellinger.
Launching soon. It's the landing page of a website that is no longer active. This morning, this was the landing page for Jena For Governor. But on Monday, when we asked Democratic Secretary of State Jena Griswold if she was running for governor, she told us she had not decided how her service will look beyond 2026. That statement was provided by her brother Chris, one of her political advisors. When we found the Jena For Governor website, her brother told us, definitely not a domain that I set up, about that. At the bottom of the page, you could subscribe to an email list. I did, and got an automated reply from Griswold's brother's email address. We asked him again about the website, and after researching, he said he purchased the domain name to prevent anyone else from being able to claim the domain, and that she, Griswold, has not made a decision about her service to the state beyond 2026. Griswold oversees campaign finance laws, which require certain disclosures once someone is a candidate.
The law says that you become a candidate if you make a public statement and you either spend or receive money in furtherance of your candidacy. So simply having a website in isolation doesn't necessarily violate anything.
Jessica Smith is a constitutional law attorney who helped me understand the requirements of the Secretary of State's How to Run for State Office Guide, which says an expenditure in support of your candidacy would make you an official candidate, like paying for a website.
It would matter if she wasn't involved or had no knowledge of this website. The law requires that if you become a candidate, you have to make certain disclosures in order to stay a candidate. If you fail to make those disclosures, you can be disqualified. There can also be penalties assessed.
The domain name Jena For Governor was bought anonymously. The only thing that linked it to Griswold was that automatic reply we got back from her brother's email once we signed up for those updates. Someone has privately bought the domain name Phil Weiser for Governor, if you're curious, and when we search, it tells us the owner is redacted for privacy. That website is not public. It's a blank screen that says the site can't be reached. So we don't have that same public announcement that we had with that Griswold page. So for the questions of why aren't you asking Weiser, it's because there's really no public Weiser for Governor that we have seen yet.
Isn't it true sometimes that political opponents will kind of like squat on a website to use it to put out bad information about somebody? I do Marshall for Governor and I put on there like Marshall hates puppies. So if somebody goes to Marshall for Governor, they see that instead of nice stuff.
Let's be clear. I love puppies.
You do love puppies.
But no, and Chris Griswold said this to me in our phone conversation, that you will buy up domain names so that other people can't trash you online by creating a site that looks legit, whether or not you are a candidate, and say some really bad things about you, that you want to own those sites. So there are reasons to do this. I think it was just, whoops, we shouldn't have made the public check.
We shall find out soon. Also, you need to lock down Marshall for Governor, or I will. Marshall Zellinger, thank you.